Hi, welcome to my Lifespan project. Today we will be analyzing George Lopez, a beloved show among many, but a special place for us Latinos who saw a bit of ourselves in the struggles that George faces. This popular sitcom aired for 6 seasons, tackling a variety of trauma themes such as poverty, machismo, also known as toxic masculinity, and being a minority in the US, racism, and more. We will be following the life event of season 2, episode 24, where George is offered a check of $20,000 from his estranged father, who abandoned him and his mother as a small child. For context, George and his wife are facing an enormous amount of debt following an unfortunate fire in their garage and needing to pay for their daughter's schooling. They are very desperate.
Look, I need to be alone so I can think about this on the drive. Okay, you said to consider taking the check because we need the money. I know that. But everything's different now. I mean, I didn't want to meet my dad for the first time coming to him for money.
I won't talk, I promise. I just want to be there for you.
No.
Already, George demonstrates a great strength by making the trip to visit his estranged father, even though he could have just taken the check. He needed some type of closure. Notice how George is very adamant about making this trip alone. He was raised to believe that he cannot lean on his family for support. He's also raised as a Latino boy. It was most likely ingrained in him not to show emotions and to quote-unquote be a man. However, watching this next clip about how his wife is still very insistent on going and even loops in the entire family. Whether or not you agree with her is another story, but watch his reaction.
I'm going with George tomorrow to meet his dad in Phoenix. We need you to watch the kids for a day.
Hell no! If he's going, I'm going.
Why? I thought you never wanted to see him again.
I don't. But I don't want him telling you a bunch of lies about what happened between us.
Mom, there's nothing he can say that can change the way I feel about you.
Thank you.
That's not a good thing.
For context about the relationship with his mother, she was actually very mean to him and actually very neglectful, a product of her own upbringing if you do watch the series.
Well, he can come too.
Anyone else, Angie? Maybe your parents would like to see Phoenix. Because now my painful personal journey's turned into a family vacation. Oh, let's not forget the camera. Here's me weeping at the Grand Canyon.
Even though he was trying to joke it off, you could see that he was visibly distressed about having to take his whole family through a personal and painful journey as he described. Notice in the next clip about his flashback how he is around substances, how he's around fighting, and how it is prompting him to meet his father with already some anger and resentment.
It's 2 in the morning. What's the kid still doing up? And what the hell is he doing around cigarettes?
He wanted to say goodnight to his daddy, but he wasn't home.
Why stop for a beer after work?
You know what I did after work, Manny? I took the bus and picked up George from my mom's. Then we came home and waited for you. We got kind of bored, so I taught George a new word. What was that new word, honey?
Cheater?
One time, Benny. Now every time I'm late, you think I'm with a woman.
It's been 6 hours, Manny.
You're just paranoid because the Lopez men are so good looking, huh? If you could just grow into that head. Man, one of these days, that thing is just gonna snap right off.
Running around one of these days, something like yours is gonna snap right off.
Drop it, Benny, entiende?
Start coming home on time.
I would if I didn't have to come home to you.
Screw you.
No, I don't need this. I'm out of here. I'm getting some smokes.
You got smokes right here. Pick another lie.
I'll stick to my first one.
As sad as that clip is, you can also see some resiliency in George's ability to acknowledge that he can be a man and a great father to his children despite not having a father of his own. In this next clip, you can see his confrontation with his father, but also some resiliency that he shows towards the end.
Come on, take the check. We're family.
Yeah? Why did you leave?
Look, the past is the past. What's important is I can help you now.
I don't need your help now. I needed a father. I mean, how could you leave a family? You had a responsibility.
I wasn't getting along with your mom. It wasn't much of a life. But things have turned out for the best. You came out okay, and look how well I've done for myself.
You think you're a success? Look, I don't care how many checks you write, and I don't care how big your company is. You're a failure. And you can't buy me.
Hey, you know what? You got this cockiness from me.
Man, I didn't get anything from you but a letter full of excuses. Even without a father, I'm more of a man than you'll ever be.
All right, that's it. That's enough.
You left a woman sitting in her living room with a kid and no way to make ends meet. You turned your back on us.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done.
The only mistake I've made was leaving you with that crazy cabrona.
That's for my mother. Now I'm done.
I do feel like I need to add that I do not condone violence, but as we see through this episode and through the series, that George has a lot of unresolved trauma and a lot of abandonment issues that leads to him actually getting into a physical altercation with his father because he is so triggered, and also because, as we see, that he is still feeling very defensive over his mother and over his childhood as well. The claim that George just wanted to feel accepted by his father is further supported by this next clip where Angie's dad comes to the rescue and actually loans out the $20,000 to George. George then states that he doesn't want to lose his respect because he wants to be a provider for his family, but it is important to see that his extended family stepped in to help him in response.
Dollars from me. Now let's fight. I've been waiting to kick your butt for 16 years. I will be calling you Fidel as I whip you.
Is this some kind of handout?
No, it's a loan.
Okay. But I'm paying you interest.
I don't want interest.
Then we can fight over that. And I will be calling you Benny as I whip you.
Hey, hey.
One condition. I don't ever want to hear you say I can't take care of my family. I work too hard to get your respect.
George, a man who puts his family before his bride is someone I'll always respect.
Thanks, Dad.
So, as I said earlier, there's a lot of factors in George's life that lead to him feeling dysregulated in his body and even leads to having some physical altercations, as we've seen earlier. Not excuses, but just some facts. Some of those factors is oppression. George is a minority navigating racial challenges in his home, work, and even parenting life. Let's look at these next clips.
Do not give me the check. We don't have to go through all this. Poverty is nothing to be ashamed of.
I don't want to make my co-manager feel uncomfortable, but I'm really going to need a little more room for my desk. Oh, perfect. Could you move this for me? Move el desco.
I don't know, señora. My back hurts. I got a spasmo. If I had one of my 9 kids, maybe, pero no. The desk is too heavy. Ay, Dios.
Now, those are just the tiny snippets of the racial trauma that George faces every day. Now, I do want to point out that George is not perfect by any means, and he still benefits from male privilege, especially in the Latino culture. However, he is empowered by a lot of different factors in his life. One of them is being a father. Even though he's not perfect, he does try to acknowledge and break those cycles, especially when it comes to violence. He's also empowered by his wife and even his mother, as he did punch his dad for his mother. While George Lopez highlights these themes through storytelling and representation, real-life research shows how these dynamics play out in actual life. In a study on father absenteeism on teenage boys, the study reveals that teenage boys experience feelings of sadness, loneliness, and rage when their fathers are absent from their lives. More so, the likelihood that these teenage boys will get involved in criminal activity will decrease if the fathers are involved in their lives and provide them with some financial support. The study also suggests that more social workers be assigned to schools in order to recognize and address cases when teenage boys are reported to be experiencing father absenteeism. This is also further supported by our textbook and research on developmental milestones. As you see, there is formation of attachments in early ages, and we can see that there is a major disruption between George and his father in his early years. Back to the research about teenage boys and father absenteeism, there is some protective factors that could have really been beneficial for George's life. Even though it is a fictional character, we can apply these still to real life communities. Some of those suggestions is deploying more social workers in schools to provide support for boys experiencing emotional challenges related to father absenteeism, creating mentorship programs to connect boys with positive male role models, offering parenting workshops to single mothers to equip them with strategies, promoting public awareness campaigns that address the social stigma surrounding single parent families, and also highlighting the importance of community support. And last but not least, advocating for policies that provide financial and social support for single parent households to reduce the socioeconomic impact on these children. Thank you guys for joining me on analyzing George Lopez, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think, and also if you guys have watched the show and what your opinions are. Thank you.